feels good. Got the pants, got the charms, necklace, zipper, everything.
You don't get told no. Like, you're going to get the yeses. You're going to get more yeses than nos, and just being able to know that. So I'm excited for that. I know that's going to come.
The WNBA just delivered a spectacle nobody saw coming. The prettiest meltdown the league has ever served, dripping in envy and polished with desperation. Caitlin Clark dropped her official Nike signature logo, and the fallout has been nothing short of chaos mixed with history. The second that double C symbol hit the internet, fans went wild, lines wrapped around stores, and social feeds exploded into Clark mania on repeat. While Clark was trending worldwide, Angel Reese was somewhere in Chicago staring at her phone like she just saw a ghost. That kind of panic only happens when you realize your rival didn't just pass you. She lapped you 5 times in the race for fame, power, and relevance. If you're hyped about Caitlin's new Nike drip, drop a comment, "Baby Goat, let's go." Nike didn't just sign off on a logo, they crowned a phenomenon.
They just announced breaking news right now. We have a logo. That is the official Caitlin Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon with signature shoes coming.
That interlocking CC isn't just branding, it's a movement. Blazing across Times Square billboards, stamped into commercials, and tearing up TikTok's algorithm like wildfire. The merch? Gone in minutes. Hoodies, tees, and caps are being snatched faster than Beyoncé tickets, with resale prices already climbing like Supreme on drop day. This isn't just merchandise. It's Clark declaring herself the queen of basketball branding. She's flipping the script on what a real superstar looks like, while Angel Reese is left Googling how to make people care about my Reebok sneakers, like it's an open book exam nobody wants to take. And Nike didn't hold back. Clark's rollout was fit for a global icon. That double C design isn't just sleek, it's storytelling. 2 bold letters locking together, hiding a third C inside, symbolizing something bigger than just hoops. It's legacy in motion. That logo isn't just design. It's a mirror of who Caitlin Clark is, connected to her fans, fearless in her confidence, and limitless in her range. That's the kind of subtle brilliance that builds empires. And that's exactly why Nike runs the kingdom while Reebok stays begging for scraps. And Clark isn't just getting a logo.
It looks really unique. I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy, all of it. It's like aura.
We love it! It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
I'm a big fan of it. Simplicity is the best. I like the design. Nike always does great with design, so I'm a huge fan of the logo.
It looks really cool. I was really excited to see it last night, and it looks like we're going to get shirts with it on it, so that's pretty exciting too.
I like it. I like how it incorporates the CC.
I love it. Double C's. Let's go, Caitlin!
She's securing an entire empire. Premium apparel, lifestyle pieces, the full collection. October 1st is circled worldwide because this isn't just a drop. It's a global event tied to Clark's unstoppable rise. The numbers, straight devastating. Her $28 million 8-year Nike deal isn't just the biggest contract in women's basketball history, it's a war cry. It screams one thing loud and clear. This sport belongs to Caitlin Clark. Every release is hysteria. Her jerseys don't just sell out, they crash websites. Fans camp overnight, fingers glued to refresh buttons, praying to grab even a single hoodie or hat with Clark's name on it. This isn't commerce. It's chaos wrapped in fandom. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is stuck watching from the outside, her Reebok rollout being treated like bargain bin leftovers. Reese thought she hit the jackpot when Shaquille O'Neal signed her to Reebok. He hyped her up with promises of a signature sneaker and painted her as the future face of their revival.
Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize."
But that was before Caitlin Clark showed the world what true star power looks like. Reese wanted to be the trailblazer, but the truth is brutal. Reebok press releases don't shake culture like Nike dominance does. Clark announces a logo, and the internet shatters in real time. Reese announces a sneaker, and fans scroll past like it's an ad for discount tires, forgotten before the page even loads. And the receipts? They don't lie. Caitlin Clark's jerseys aren't just hot. They're the second best sellers in all of basketball, men's or women's. That's not hype. That's history in motion. Let me make this crystal clear. Not just the WNBA, but all of basketball. Caitlin Clark is outselling LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Edwards. Her draft day jersey? Gone in under an hour. The fastest selling piece of merch in any sport. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's gear sits lonely on store racks, untouched and collecting dust like last season's clearance leftovers. No frenzy, no resale market, no stampedes. Just a cold reality check that hype without substance doesn't move units. It just fades away.
Telling y'all to stay patient. I've been telling y'all that Nike takes their time, that Asia Wilson's shoe deal was 2 years in the making, that Paige Beckers had PEs, not her own signature shoe, and that Caitlin Clark's was 100% coming. And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product.
Nike calls Clark's logo a reflection of her expanding range, and they nailed it. She's not only stretching defenses, she's stretching the limits of how far women's basketball can go, commercially and culturally. Caitlin is rewriting the definition of a superstar in real time, and the world is watching. Those interlocking C's aren't just branding. They're dominance stamped in design. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is pushing that AR Halo logo that sounds more like downloadable content for a video game than a cultural shift. If you're putting a halo over your brand, it's because your career's on life support and you're praying for divine intervention to keep it alive.
Angel Reese first signature shoe is set to release. It's set to release. Now, it's not a bad shoe. This is my only problem with it. The colorway. Like, I just feel like they could have had a little more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Especially being that it's for the All-Star game. Like, why do a basic white shoe? Man, you could have did so much more to make this shoe pop. And y'all just like, nah, we just gonna do it.
The style gap is lethal. Clark's reach isn't limited to Indiana or even the WNBA. Nike is turning her into an international force. Europe, Asia, South America. Her logo is already global currency. Kids in Madrid, Tokyo, and Rio are lining up to rock her gear because greatness translates everywhere. That's why Nike hands her a $28 million check. She's not just a league star, she's a worldwide phenomenon. And Angel Reese? She's still struggling to convince her own city that her sneakers even matter. Every time Caitlin Clark breaks new ground, Angel Reese tries to slide in with some shady side-eye or a half-baked response. She avoids saying Clark's name like it's Voldemort, as if silence could somehow shrink Caitlin's influence. But fans aren't blind. They see the envy. They hear the clipped sound bites, and they know Reese is choking on the truth. She will never own the spotlight the way Clark does with something as simple as a logo reveal.
Sorry, young lady. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody would be watching the WNBA additionally for you. This is all about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is bringing the money to the game, the planes to the game, the TV viewership. The WNBA is on fire because of Caitlin.
And this isn't just business. It's an earthquake. Nike's gamble on Caitlin Clark is already paying off so loud it probably has Reebok execs pacing in boardrooms, regretting every contract they've ever signed. Clark's merch doesn't just sell, it creates moments. She wore her new logo sweats to practice, and boom, headlines everywhere. Her All-Star jersey drop in July 2024 sold out in 15 minutes flat. That's not regular commerce, that's event-level mania. The type of buzz you can't fake, can't buy, can't duplicate. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's Reebok deal looks more like a participation trophy than a power move. Yes, technically she's getting a signature shoe. But come on, who's actually lining up for it? The debut is coming in 3 colorways with sugary names like Diamond Dust and Me Bounce. Cute, right? More like kiddie sneakers pretending to be iconic. It's the fashion equivalent of bolting a spoiler on a go-kart and trying to pass it off as a Ferrari.
is simply the talk of the internet today. Her and Taylor Swift broke the damn internet. Yes, bro. And for all the people that was hitting me up about Caitlin Clark's signature logo, somebody said it looked like Chanel. I said it looked like Gucci. But whatever it is a luxury sports brand. I can't think of very many luxury sports brands. Guys, yeah, do you like, I'm a fashion guy. And I understand what Nike is doing. Nike is trying to get into the luxury brands.
Caitlin Clark's Nike empire doesn't just outshine Reese's Reebok project. It absolutely dwarfs it, like a skyscraper towering over a sandcastle. Angel Reese could never dream of what Caitlin Clark just secured with Nike. Clark isn't just getting a shoe, she's being handed an entire signature collection, a global logo push, and the full muscle of Nike's billion-dollar marketing machine. They're treating her like the transcendent superstar she really is. Reese, meanwhile, looks more like Reebok's last-ditch Hail Mary to claw back into basketball, and the play is already flopping hard. Nike's decision to spotlight Clark feels inevitable, like destiny written in bold letters. Reebok's choice to hang everything on Reese, it reeks of desperation. Like they're praying fans forget their glory. Days died around the same time flip phones disappeared. And the timing? Brutal. As the WNBA season winds down and fans debate who truly owned the year, Nike drops the Double C bombshell like a thunderclap, reminding the world exactly who moved the needle. Here's the savage twist. Clark isn't even on the court right now, yet she's pulling more buzz than Reese managed all season while playing every night. For Reese, that reality cuts deep. Caitlin Clark is proving superstar power doesn't need a dribble, a three-pointer, or a stat line. She dominates the culture by just existing. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is probably stuck scrolling on her phone, wondering how the injured player sitting courtside is still the number. One story in women's basketball, while she, fully active, is barely a footnote. That's not just painful, it's humiliating.
She seek that attention, right? And another thing is, it's obvious she's jealous of Caitlin. Every interview, every tweet, everything is about Caitlin. I haven't yet to see Caitlin even respond to her yet. Have y'all?
No.
So when you asking me like, yo, I get it, everybody's watching women's basketball now, who's the real reason? Well, yes, you are right. Reese has a small amount of that, right? But the other real credit goes to Caitlin, not just because what she's doing outside the court and she's waving her hand, doing all that. It's because she's giving buckets in basketball, right? And she looks like Steph Curry. And that's...
It's like watching somebody else live out the dream you thought was promised to you and realizing the spotlight was never yours to begin with. The truth is simple. Caitlin Clark's global brand expansion is a mountain Angel Reese can't climb under Reebok's broken umbrella. Nike has the power, the reach, and the credibility to turn Clark into a household name in countries that barely even know the WNBA exists. Reebok, even with Shaquille O'Neal fronting their basketball division, they're battling decades of irrelevance. Reese was hyped up as their comeback centerpiece, but Clark's logo reveal snatched the spotlight so hard it made Reebok's entire launch look like an afterthought. Nike didn't just outshine them. They bulldozed straight through their playbook, leaving Reese's future drops dead on arrival. The market already made its choice. Every jersey that sells out, every viral TikTok of that logo, every collection gone in minutes, it all screams one name at deafening volume: Caitlin Clark. Reese might cling to her little halo logo, but let's be real. Caitlin Clark holds the real prize: organic, unstoppable fan devotion that actually turns into sales. Reese can strike poses, drop photo shoots, and talk fashion all she wants. But if people don't care enough to pull out their wallets, the brand dies before it even lives.
People are selling the new Caitlin Clark Kobe's for double, sometimes more than double what they actually paid for them. So it's been estimated there's about 13,000 of these shoes that were released from Nike, and literally within minutes, all sold out for about $190 a piece. People knew these were going to be hot, so resellers were picking them up on the cheap and now doubling and sometimes tripling their profits on a place like eBay. So if you were lucky enough to get a pair of these, put them up on eBay, you're going to sell them for around $350, $400 minimum, depending on the size. And that's just kind of the way it works right now with anything Caitlin Clark related. The stuff is really hot. Watch for Caitlin Clark stuff because it sells off the shelves, especially on.
Meanwhile, Clark's fan base has morphed into a global army. Nike isn't just moving merch in the US, they're rolling her symbol out across Europe, Asia, South America, even Africa. From gyms in Barcelona to playgrounds in Manila, kids are repping Clark not out of obligation, but out of pure desire to be connected to greatness. That's what $28 million really buys. Not just an athlete, but a phenomenon whose appeal shatters borders, crosses languages, and rewrites the rules of global stardom. That's the one thing Angel Reese can't buy. Genuine cultural pull. No press release, no staged photo shoot, no hashtag campaign can fake it. So yeah, Reese is probably doom scrolling right now, watching Clark's Double C logo dominate timelines across the globe and realizing her rivalry was never a real competition to begin with. To be fair, Reese's limited reach isn't entirely her fault. She signed with Reebok, and Reebok simply doesn't have the global machine to compete anymore. They're clawing for a comeback, putting Shaq in charge of basketball, bringing Allen Iverson into leadership, and slapping the Nostalgia Revival label on their brand. Signing Angel Reese was their Hail Mary attempt to tap into Gen Z's hype and bank on her social media buzz to carry them. But here's the brutal truth. Reebok is decades behind, and you don't erase years of irrelevance with one flashy signing. And when that signing is Angel Reese, a player known as much for missed layups as for headlines, the comeback attempt looks weaker than ever.
Clark can't have anything without some negativity. Sports Illustrated posted this, but I actually read the article. It's just hater. He used random people's opinions on X and Twitter. Fans don't like her logo. No, you don't like the logo. You just found some random people that agree with your opinion. This is called confirmation bias. I can't stand people like that. What they do is they find anybody who confirms their bias. So what they do Google searches and things like that instead of just being objective. No, I think most people like
Caitlin Clark's logo reveal wasn't just a business move. It was a cultural declaration. Nike told the world loud and clear, Caitlin Clark isn't just the face of the WNBA, she's the future of basketball itself. Her story has broken free from the box score. She's not just highlights and stats. She's the living, breathing symbol of women's sports forcing its way into the mainstream. Every billboard with her face, every merch drop that sells out in minutes, every viral video with her logo screams the same message at max volume. Caitlin Clark is the one. Angel Reese can try to write her own fairy tale all she wants, but the global conversation already picked its leading star. And spoiler alert, it's not her. When you put them side by side, Angel Reese's situation almost feels sad. Caitlin Clark doesn't just elevate herself, she lifts everything around her. Her teammates shine brighter under her spotlight. Entire franchises like the Fever suddenly look like playoff contenders just because she's on the court, and the league itself has leveled up. Attendance, ratings, cultural relevance, all of it skyrocketed the second Clark stepped into the WNBA. That's why Nike threw the bag her way, and that's why their $28 million investment is already paying off like gold. Now, compare that to Reese. She hasn't elevated a single thing. Her team is still stuck in irrelevance, her Reebok deal hasn't moved culture an inch, and her personal brand keeps shrinking every time Clark's star gets bigger. For all the hype about Bayou Barbie, the reality is clear. She's standing in the longest shadow women's basketball has ever seen. Nike's rollout of Caitlin Clark feels like history unfolding in real time. Iconic, unstoppable, and era-defining.
Hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
Caitlin Clark's new Kobe Bryant 5 sneaker sells out online in minutes. There hasn't been this much calamity over a white woman's shoe since Cinderella.
Reebok's Angel Reese project? It feels like a failed side hustle nobody asked for. And the more Reese tries to posture like she's in Clark's league, the more obvious it becomes she's not even in the same conversation. Caitlin Clark is out here building an empire. Angel Reese is still stuck trying to build credibility. And the gap grows wider by the day. Caitlin Clark isn't just rewriting the rules, she's rewriting the entire game. With one logo, one deal, one rollout, she's flipped women's basketball into a global conversation. The Fever went from a struggling franchise to a sold-out ticket in every city she touches. And the WNBA itself finally feels mainstream because Clark's presence forces it into the spotlight. That's not hype. That's a revolution happening in real time. Angel Reese, on the other hand, is finding out the hard way that headlines don't equal history. Her Reebok partnership was sold as a power move, but when stacked against Nike's empire behind Clark, it looks more like a charity project than a cultural reset. You can't fight a tidal wave with a garden hose, and right now, that's exactly what Reebok is trying to do. Clark's influence is stretching across continents. Madrid, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, Johannesburg. Kids everywhere want to wear her logo. Not because they're told to, but because greatness is magnetic. She doesn't just move jerseys, she moves culture. And that's why Nike went all in with the kind of investment usually reserved for global icons. Meanwhile, Reese is still fighting to convince her own city that her sneakers matter. And every day Clark's name trends, every billboard goes up, every drop sells out, that gap between them grows wider and more embarrassing.
When we talk about an attitude can make somebody unattractive, her attitude and just her demeanor really rubs me the wrong way. I'm not on the court, so maybe Caitlin Clark has said something crazy to Angel Reese. I have not heard it. Angel Reese, whenever she has the opportunity to throw a shot, she does, and she makes herself look like an ass. They're watching the WNBA because of one person. It's okay. A talented player, maybe you and Caitlin Clark will share the lead down the line, but most people are watching games.
The truth is undeniable. Caitlin Clark is building a dynasty before she even touches her prime. Angel Reese? She's stuck playing catch-up in a race that ended before she even laced her Reeboks. So while Nike gears up to flood the globe with double C gear this holiday season, Angel Reese is left scrambling. Because in this business, there's no room for pity trophies. It's either dominance, relevance, or nothing at all. And Caitlin Clark? She owns the first two with an iron grip. Reese is stranded in that lonely third category, still searching for a way to catch a rival she was never even close to catching in the first place. Clark's empire is only getting bigger, louder, and more untouchable. Every drop, every logo, every headline confirms it. Reese can pose, post, and promote all she wants, but the culture has already crowned its queen. If you're hyped about Caitlin's signature merch and shoe collection, then comment Baby Goat below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.